one of the most important backbone of Ayurvedic treatment is called as Kaya Chikitsa. Kaya Chikitsa is the first and the foremost branch of Ayurvedic medicine. Kaya means fire and Chikitsa means treatment. Okay, there is the first word on page number 8, which is called as internal medicine. It technically means is respecting and regulating one's cellular metabolic fires. What it technically means is respecting and regulating one's metabolic and digestive fires. Because once you start looking at the cellular fires and everything, it needs to burn and have all the cylinders firing properly. There's a big debate in medicine about what is the reason for people when they age. What is the biggest problem of aging process? And the biggest problem of the aging process is slowing down of your metabolic activity. Which is the biggest epidemic of the disease what we have in this country currently in terms of healthcare? Epidemic of disease, what would be the diabetes? Or disease? What else?
Obesity.
Obesity.
Oh, we're stuck together.
Yeah. So it could be all of it, and that term is called as metabolic syndrome. Okay. When you talk about metabolic syndrome, the scientists used to call it as metabolic X earlier, but it is kind of linked to about 70 to 75% of all the chronic diseases are linked to this condition. And metabolic syndrome technically means, and you should research it on the web, which says that your digestive fires is slowed down, which creates an insulin resistance, which creates higher levels of cholesterol and triglycerides, which creates tendencies towards obstruction to the channels, which can lead to high blood pressure, and which can create easy retention of fluids and weight. And so there are a variety of different markers of what they talk about, but from an Ayurvedic angle it is simple, that your digestive strength and fire is getting weak and slow and sluggish, and that would create something called as ama. It is not an abbreviation for American Medical Association, but it means residual digestive incomplete food which remains swirling into your system, that is called as ama. So when you say I cannot digest this food and you are holding pockets of these foods in your body, they are creating puddles of impurities and residual toxins into your system, which are just unfinished businesses. So when you send your blood to the lab and you see high levels of cholesterol, high levels of lipids, triglycerides, your blood sugar is very high, your blood urea is high, what those markers are nothing but incomplete metabolic markers which are still swirling into your bloodstream, isn't it? You're not really eating cholesterol-ridden food, but whatever fat you are eating or whatever food you are eating which contains fat, your digestive strength has become so weak and sluggish that you cannot digest it. Or you are eating sugar which your body cannot handle it and you cannot digest it completely. That's why it remains into your blood, and that's why it can start flowing in through your urine later. So that sugar, what is there, is an incomplete food which is there. The starches, which is creating increased level of triglycerides and everything, is nothing but some of the carbs which you were not able to digest. So when we talk about ama, it is the same thing. And the aging, there's a whole association with physicians who specialize into anti-aging medicine, and they have come to one simple logic that they say that when your digestion slows down, that's when the aging process begins. Slowing down of your agni and slowing down of your digestion is the biggest threat for metabolic insufficiency.